Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favourite films from 1972. This is all in accordance with IMDb, and again, this is no real definitive list. These are just my personal favourites. There's no right or wrong to this. It's just what my preferred films are. Not an amazing year, 1972. There are some standouts, but overall, it's not really a year that blew me away. Still some great films though. But to start off with, I want to get through some honourable mentions. So, first up, I'm going with Tales of the Crypt. Really good anthology horror film. Some great little horror tales in there. Second up, I'm going with the fourth Planet of the Apes film, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, which was actually my favourite Planet of the Apes film growing up as a kid, but now it is just so difficult to watch with all the torture scenes in it. Really, really disturbing. I don't know why the hell I love this one so much when I was a kid, but as an adult now, really super tough film to watch. And lastly, this isn't really an honourable mention for me, but it is a film that does deserve a shout out, and that's Pink Flamingos. Absolutely one of the most disgusting and disturbing films I've ever seen in my life. I'm not really someone who sort of sits there and if I get bored or lose interest in a film, I'm like, oh, I can't really bother to finish this. I'll always give a film the benefit of the doubt, and I'll always stick with it and try and watch it to the very end. This film, I came very, very close to switching off. I found it so hard to watch. The hardest film I've ever had to watch. It is so disgusting and it is so vile with its content. It just absolutely made me uncomfortable. It made me feel queasy for days afterwards. I'll give the film this though. I will give total props to John Waters, the director who made this film, because he can say, I made the film I wanted to make, and fair enough, fair play, you did it. He had a vision, and he accomplished that vision and made the film he wanted to make. It made me very, very uncomfortable watching it, which I'm sure is what he was going for. But yeah, I've seen it once. I never ever want to see it again. So yeah. Right, onto the list. So number 10 for me is Fat City, starring Stacey Keach. A really, really good underrated boxing film. If you like sort of films like Rocky and Raging Bull, definitely give this one a try. It touches on alcoholism, and it touches on sort of sportsmen when they sort of reach that age where they just don't have the talent anymore. Really good film, really underrated. Yeah. Number 9 for me is a film called Sleuth, which stars Laurence Olivier and Michael Caine. Pretty much the only two actors in the entire film, but you never really lose interest in it. It's so jam-packed with twists and turns, and keeps you guessing as to what happens. But yeah, really, really good film. Number 8 for me is Cabaret. Not a huge musical fan, but I really did like this one. It's sort of set in Nazi Germany, early World War II. But yeah, no, the characters and the performances were enough to keep me interested in the film. But really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, number 7 for me is Robert Redford's in Jeremiah Johnson. Really underrated film from him. Sort of set in the North Country, which sort of halfway through the film turns into a bit of a revenge film. Don't want to spoil too much of it, but yeah, definitely worth a watch. So the next one for me, number 6, is an early Brian De Palma film, Sisters. He made some really, really good early thrillers in his early days. Films like this and Dress to Kill and Blowout. Really, really good. About two Canadian sisters conjoined. Yeah, again, another film with twists and turns. That keeps you hooked, and some great performances as well. So yeah, number 5 for me is a foreign film, Getaway, The Wrath of God, directed by Wenger Herzog, who's actually in The Mandalorian. I've seen him pop up in a few Simpsons episodes as well. But yeah, no, it follows these group of explorers who are looking for the lost city and the treasure of El Dorado, and you sort of feel their frustrations in not being able to find it. And watching the film, it's absolutely gorgeous. You absolutely feel as if you're in the environment of a jungle watching this film. Really, really does a good job of capturing that. Yeah. So number 4 for me is The Getaway with Steve McQueen. Yeah, pretty good action chase movie about two convicts who are trying to get to the Mexican border, and the journey they take is really, really engaging, really keeps you hooked. Definitely worth a watch, this one. Yeah, really good film. So number 3 for me is a very controversial film with Marlon Brando. It's Last Tango in Paris. Yeah, as I said, really, really controversial love scene in this film involving butter. But yeah, no, there are two standout scenes for me with Brando, and the second one is actually him, where he's at this party at the end. He ends up pulling his trousers down, but the first scene for me is just blows me away. His acting when he's talking to his dead wife yeah, it's just really gripping, really emotional, really, really sucks you into the film. Really good. And the number 2 film for me, again, another disturbing film, is Deliverance. Yeah, these 4 friends meet up to go on a sort of weekend away, going canoeing and camping, and everything that could go wrong does go wrong. They get held up at gunpoint by 2 hillbillies. They get raped by the hillbillies. They murder the hillbillies and don't know what to do, and it is just a mental and physical draining journey afterwards. But it is such a good film. The dueling banjo scenes as well is great. The music's great. Performances are great. Everything's on point. Super, super good film. And the number 1 film for me from 1972, it's probably one of the greatest films ever made. It won Best Actor for Brando. It won Best Picture, and that is The Godfather. My first introduction to this film was probably through like episodes of The Simpsons, where it would parody The Godfather, and I saw it when I was a teenager, and I was like, yeah, okay, it's good, but it's not great. But as I've got older, I really, really do appreciate it. The runtime can be a bit daunting, but it's like, do I really want to watch that? Yeah, I do. And as soon as you put it on, as soon as it starts, you're in, you're hooked. it just doesn't bore you. It's so good. The scenes in it are fantastic. The acting in it is fantastic. James Caan, Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, Diane Keaton. You are hooked. The story is just on point, fantastic. Great gangster film. It's got some of the best music ever. I've never read the book, but yeah, no. Some standout scenes for me, obviously, the music build up to the scene with the horse's head in the bed is just so haunting. The scene where Al Pacino has to kill the corrupt police officer, the diner scene, it's fantastic the way it's set at a train station, and instead of music, you've just got the noise of the train coming by as it gets louder and louder and louder. It's just substitutes a great build up. It is a fantastic film, and in my opinion, the sequel's even better. But we'll touch on that in another video. Yeah, great movie. So yeah, that is it. Top 10 from 72. I'm going to be back with my top 15 movies of 1973. I couldn't narrow it down to 10. There were just a lot more that came out that year. But yeah, no, these are my favourite from 72. If I left any out, please let me know. Let me know what yours would be if you've seen any. And thanks very much for watching. Yeah, great. Thank you.